Hello, welcome back. I'm Nate.
I'm Mikey.
We're here to help you
improve your balance.
So today we're going to show you 6 exercises you can do with your balance pad that are all standing. So why do you use a balance pad? These are a squishy foam kind of square piece of material, and what they do is they provide either cushioning so that you can move with more comfort and more ease, and they also create a little bit of instability so that your ankles, your knees, your hips have to work a little bit harder to correct, and that's going to help build the strength and the reflexes that you need to improve your balance.
So we did a product review for our last video, so you can check that out if you want to learn more about the different types out there. I've got a little larger one here. Nate's going to use one that splits in half.
Okay.
And we just have some really simple stand exercises for you. And so like we said, it can provide really nice cushioning. And so we're going to start with just a really simple ankle warm-up. All right, and if we want to get your toes involved, so one foot's going to be on the ground, so make sure you have a nice safe space. You have a wall nearby, a balance bar, a chair, something to give, if you're unfamiliar with this, to have a little bit of support nearby. All right, so one foot's on the ground, nice and steady. The other foot comes on top, and you can even get your toenails and the knuckles of your toe and the top of the feet on top of the balance pad here, and it just makes it a little more comfortable than putting it on the ground. It makes it nice and soft for those toes.
Yeah, I work with a lot of people, and almost everybody, of a certain age starts to get very stiff on the curling inward of their toes. So that toe flexion becomes really tight. Because if you think about it, when we walk, our toes are almost always just going up. They almost never go down and in. And so the tops of the feet get very stiff and quite painful, in fact. So when people try to stretch just on the floor, it's too hard and they just don't do it. So having the pad can really help. And the further back that you bring it, so if it's still painful, come more forward and step further back. That's going to reduce the angle on your ankle and on the tops of your feet. That'll make it even more comfortable.
It's really nice. I love that stretch from the top of my foot. And having the pad here behind me just makes it all that more comfortable. I can keep stretching. I feel the stretch and not the floor and hurting the bones and the joints there. So just take your time, switch feet, do a little circle one direction, circle back the other direction, pause, a little stretch, and notice that I feel it really the top and outside of my ankles. So play with the angle of it. There's a bunch of tendons that cross over around your ankle. All right, notice which ones of those are sore. All right, just gently roll them, stretch them, work them out. Shake it out, switch back if you need. All right. Okay.
Great, so yeah, that's a really nice warm up. And next one we're going to do a standing pose. It's called mountain pose with your eyes open. Now, there's a couple ways you can set this up. If you're at all concerned about losing your balance, then we recommend doing this in front of a couch so that you're standing directly in front of the couch or a big fluffy chair, so that if you do lose your balance, you basically just sit right back down. So you can either have a chair behind you, use a balance bar, or come near a wall. Having just a little bit of something to touch can make a big difference too. So mountain pose, you bring your feet right next to each other, and if you can't touch them together, that's okay, but bring them as close as you can. And then just let your shoulders roll back and open, your palms open out. Your chin kind of tucks in slightly, and the top of your head lifts straight up, so the back of your neck gets longer. And then just stand there. Your eyes can be open. If you like, you can fix your eyes on a certain point. And as you start to notice, your feet and your body are swaying a little bit. Naturally, they're always moving. So just stand and notice that swaying and that movement. Yeah, you can use the balance bar as like a tightrope walker tool, right? That just gives you a little bit more stability. Just feel that natural swaying. You're never actually completely still. You're always moving. Consciously notice that and feel the micro adjustments that your body's making. Notice if you're standing more on one side, one leg, or the other. Notice if you rock back to forward or more side to side, or is it a combination? See if you can relax your upper body. Can you Let go of any tension in the shoulders. And you relax your face and neck a little bit. This might seem easy at first, but the longer you do it, the harder it gets. And if you're doing it with shoes on, you can make it more challenging by doing it with bare feet. And see if you can find that 50-50 point between the front and back of your feet, and 50-50 between left and right. And settle right into that center. This can be a very calming and centering pose. Take 2 more breaths here. Alright, nicely done. Hopefully that felt good.
Yeah, that's great. I think a lot of times we try to move more, but sometimes those still poses, you can get so much out of them. Really calming, really good for the body, alright? Just letting everything clear out, up a line, get rid of anything that's not serving you. Those are great. Next one, alright, so we're going to come back onto the balance pad here, and we're just going to slowly shift our weight from one side to the other. Alright, so we're going to pick up one foot lightly, put it back down, shift the weight, pick up the other foot. Alright, you can start by touching the wall or leaning on the balance bar of the chair, but we want to slowly take away the support, and we want to slow down how long it takes to switch from side to side. The slower we go, the more fatigued our muscles are going to get, and the more we're going to start to wobble, alright, and the more balance we're going to gain. So just slowly shifting back and forth, okay, slowly taking away your extra support, and see if you can come and stand on one foot for about 10 seconds. There together, breathing, staying relaxed, staying nice and tall. Slowly shifting back over toward the other foot, planting it firmly, lifting their other foot off the pad, holding for about 10 seconds here. Maybe 10 more seconds on each side. Switch back to the other foot.
After 10 seconds, if you have to come down, just come right back up again and just continue for 10 seconds. Maybe it takes you 3 or 4 tries to do 10 seconds without dropping, but keep trying.
Shifting your weight over to the other side.
You can feel how much harder your ankles are working, right? So that's the whole key here.
And the opposite of that, we can speed it up. Alright, you can do a little bit more of a march. Alright, bring your knees up. Okay, range of motion. As you take away that base of support, alright, it's going to get harder again too. And then you can start to add that combination. Alright, add the hands, do a little Tai Chi. So lots of ways to progress this, and this balance pad again, adding a little extra challenge.
Yeah, nice. All right, come on down, and now we're going to go back to mountain pose, but we're going to add an extra challenge. And this one is very important that you are in a safe place. So please don't forget to have either a couch behind you or a chair or something that you can hang on to if you need it. So go ahead and come back into your mountain pose. And one of the most important factors that we often don't realize play a role in our balance is our vision. And so when you close your eyes, when you take away your vision, all the other factors of your balance, your strength, your reflexes, proprioception, your inner ear, they have to work double because we generally over-rely on our vision. And I'll show you what I mean. So when you come into mountain pose, get settled, and then start to slowly close your eyes. And you can start by just blinking slowly, and eventually you can keep your eyes closed for a longer period of time. Now, at any point, if you start to feel yourself losing your balance, immediately open your eyes. Don't keep them closed. All right, and you need to be able to respond very quickly. And so little by little, you'll start to really improve your reflexes because you're not able to just become lazy by using your vision only for your balance. A lot of falls happen at night or in the early morning or in a darkened room because we don't have our vision to use for balance. So let's practice using the other parts as well to compensate. Notice if you're swaying a whole lot more than you were with your eyes open. Really visualize, use your mind to notice and sense that center line. Picture your spine tall and long and centered. Feel that whole center line. Feel the surface of your feet, spreading out your toes. Feel all the extremities. Proprioception is sensing where you are in space. Feel where your fingers are, where your shoulders are, where your head is, where your core is. Notice if you're pitching to one side more than the other. If you're going front to back or left to right more. Alright, go ahead and open your eyes. How was that?
That's good. My feet, I definitely noticed the muscles of my feet working.
Yeah.
When you have the balance pad, I tend to spread my toes really wide, which is good for helping that support, but they really have to work. And so, the insides and outsides of both feet are getting a workout, which I think is really important. We forget to take care of our feet and factor them in our workouts, and this is a great way to boost that.
Absolutely, yeah. Those bottoms of the feet, we forget how much they're also working. The fascia also can get really stiff, so we want to activate that too.
Yes. So now a little bit more active of poses. So hopefully our balance senses are heightened. All right. So come back. Make sure you have a good base of support, and we're going to go onto one foot. All right, and do some hip circles. Okay. So we're going forward and to the outside to start with. So choose your leg, just forward, up and around. All right, making sure we have a good base of support. If your balance is good, try to take it away, but really want to make sure we have something to lean on if we need to for these. Okay?
Yeah, and you can touch your toe down in between just to catch your stability, okay? Sometimes it's tempting to try to progress too fast, and you're saying, okay, this is easy, I'll make it harder and harder, but you can very quickly go too far, so take it slow.
Let's switch to the other side there. Doesn't take too long to really notice the foot and the standing lower leg get tired.
So in exercise parlance, this is adding dynamic balance. So static balance is where you're standing still, and that's an important factor, but we're moving all throughout the day, right? We move a lot, so we need to practice dynamic balance where we're balancing with movement. So this is why this is important.
Yeah, feels like we're crossing a river, have to step over that log, all right?
Stepping over your grandkids' toys or your husband's socks that he left on the stairs or who knows what.
All right, switch back to the first side. All right, now we're gonna go out to the side and then back into the middle. All right, so out to the side first and then back into the middle. And again, you can touch down in between, all right, or try to keep the foot off the ground. All right, you can take away your base of support. And eventually, you'll do this with your eyes closed. But maybe not today.
Yeah.
So it's whatever works for you, okay? Even if it's just a little movement, even if it's just picking that foot off the ground, all right, whatever you can do, whatever your range of motion is, wherever you're at, just meet yourself there, and then we'll just take little steps, all right, to make improvements. We'll go to the other side here. So again, outside first, back into the middle, get used to that range of motion. Okay. Maybe don't set your foot down on this next one. Ooh. And then slowly take away your base of support if you want.
So think about moving your knee. So your knee is making a big circle, and that's going to move your hip. So Little by little, you can increase that circle with practice.
You can grab onto your pants if your hip flexor doesn't want to do what you want. Always give those muscles a little boost so you can improve the range of motion. Yeah. All right, come off, shake it out.
Good work. All right, that was number 5. So our last one is a fun one, and this is kind of combining a few different movements together. So you're going to want to have something behind you, either a wall or a chair or couch, and then stand on your balance pad.
Good. And so even if you want to start this one without the balance pad, play with the width of your feet. They can start wide. They can be together for more of a challenge. We did this with the balance boards, all right, which worked really well. And basically, it's going to add a twist. So just the upper body, we're going to look up and backwards. All right, we're going to pull down the wallpaper. It's like we're ripping down a sheet of wallpaper diagonally across our body and looking all the way towards the back. We're going to grab high on that same side, pull it down, twist, and come back. All right, so that's going to be the motion. All right, so come into the balance pad if you want. All right, and it's really good. A full body range of motion here.
Yeah, and this is where the split one can be nice because you can open as wide as you like. So bending and twisting, sometimes that can be a little tricky. So having the ability to go wider may be good. So find a comfortable distance for you and then get started. Go ahead and reach up, grab that ugly old wallpaper, pull it down, tear it off, and release. Grab the other side, pull down. Use your legs, you're bending your legs and you're stretching your arms, you're stretching your back, you're turning your head. A lot of movements. And Mikey's doing it with the feet together. That's going to be a lot more challenging. That's going to give you a more narrow base of support, and that's going to make it a little tougher.
Watch your hands the whole time, all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. Okay, getting that neck exercise as well. And if you feel dizzy at all, just slow down. All right. Definitely an inner ear exercise with this one.
I like to match the breath, inhale up and exhale down. As long as it's not too fast for you. You can open your lungs and you can turn this to a breathing exercise. Make sure you don't go fast, you don't want to hyperventilate. So comfortable breath. You can even match your movement with your breath. So you might let your breath lead you and let your movement follow the breath. Use your legs, you can bend your knees and use that strength in your lower body and your core. Your hips can shoot back a little bit. Strong arms, strong legs. This is a really good thing too because you cross the midline. There's some different studies that talk about the cross-lateral movement. So when your hands or your extremities cross the midline, your brain has to also cross from left to right side because the two hemispheres of the brain control the other half of the body. So this can be good for the brain and for coordination. We often don't cross as much, so cross that midline and crossing the top to the bottom half of your body. You'll create a good integration of your body and brain. Alright, let's do just a couple more.
Yeah.
And pull that last piece of wallpaper off the wall.
We did it! So also a really good way to see where you're sore. You know, I felt like my back muscle on one side, I could notice I didn't have that same range of motion. So pretty common for us to be a little imbalanced with those full body exercises. So just notice it. Maybe take a little extra time to stretch out. Was it feeling perfect? All right, make sure we hydrate, make sure we take care of ourselves, and definitely check out, find your balance pad. It really makes for an extra workout, makes all this balance practice that much easier and that much more beneficial.
Yeah, so definitely check out our next video. We're going to be showing you stuff you can do now on the floor. But keep working on this. If these were tough, come back to this video. Do it over and over until it gets easier. So like anything, the consistency really is the key. So if you know anybody who could benefit from this, do share this video. Sharing is caring, so please send it along. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, make sure to click that before you go, and then you'll be able to see our next videos.
Well, say thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. I'm Mikey.
I'm Nate.
Until next time.
Stay balanced, my friends.